To configure your WordPress site, the easiest way is to go to your settings. When you move your mouse over settings, a pop-up window will appear. And it has several different sections that you can work on. First is General. The general settings are the very basic general settings that you'll use. They include your site title, the tagline, the WordPress address, and the website URL. You'll also have an email address that will be used for administration purposes, give information about membership, what time zone, and the date format that your website is in. Many WordPress websites will not let people register as a means of cutting down on spam. If you're not planning on having membership where other people can just simply sign up, I recommend leaving this unchecked. If you are going to let people sign up on their own, then you'll need to define them a default role. The selection of this role will change the ability of what the user can perform on the website. I also recommend keeping your time zone up to date. This will change depending upon the city that you're in, and you might need to find the closest city that defines a time zone for you, such as New York, Chicago, etc. Using information in the city, a lot of times you can find out whether it is plus or minus a certain number of the UTC. UTC stands for Coordinated Universal Time. Likewise, you'll want to pick a date format that you're comfortable with, and they have several ready-made, or you can customize your own. This is also including for your time. You can also choose what the first day of the week is going to be, simply by choosing from the drop-down box. Once you've made the changes you're ready in the general setting, click Save Changes. Now you may notice that once you've saved your general settings, you'll first get a message that says your settings are saved. And you secondly may notice that you now have your settings menu automatically opened up. Let's move to the writing. In the writing, you can automatically convert your emoticons into graphics. You can automatically choose your default post category. Initially, you'll only have one category, and that'll be uncategorized. Your posts are for your blog posting. And you can choose what type of format you want it to be. By default, it'll be standard. The types listed here will be the ones associated with the theme that you've chosen. If you want to post via email, it'll have information for you to set that up. As well, you can set up update services. Your update services is simply you pinging them to let them know that you've updated content on your website. Once you're comfortable with the changes that you've made, click Save Changes. It'll save it and move on to reading. In reading, you can choose to either display your latest post or a static web page. If you choose a static page, then you'll want to choose which page you want to select, and you'll also need to choose a page for your post. Regardless of if you choose a latest post or a static page, you'll have pages that display your blog, and you'll want to define how many posts should appear on that page at most. This is a text box that you can enter any numeric value in. Some people prefer a small number so your pages load faster. Other people like to have lots of information on a single page. Your syndication feeds deal with your RSS content. You can choose on your archive pages. This is where your posts reside, either like on your home page, pages for your categories, tags, or even by date. Not only can you specify how many posts you want to appear on those pages, but you can also specify, do you want the entire article or just a short summary? Some people will choose summary as it provides information that they can then click on to find out more information. It also means that not as much information will be sent to the end user where you might be displaying 10 or more posts, therefore it'll load faster. Additionally, you can set if you want search engines to be able to view your website. By clicking the checkbox, you will discourage search engines from indexing the site. This means that WordPress will add a meta tag telling the search engines to not index and not follow these particular pages. This is good for development purposes, where you don't want them linking to a development website. However, you want to make sure this is unchecked for a production website using WordPress. That way, search engines can find and index your content, so when people search on the search engine, they're able to find it. Click Save Changes. Choose your discussion. This will let you define if people can leave comments and how many. Under discussion, there's a variety of different settings that you can use. For example, you can attempt to notify any blogs that you link to in the article, allow link notifications from other blogs, and allow people to comment on new articles. This can be overwritten for individual articles if you want. Additionally, you can require that comment authors fill out a name and email. This will cut down the number of spam that you will get, but not a lot. Therefore, it's always good to have a good anti-comment spam plugin installed in WordPress to reduce that. You can choose that users have to be registered and logged in if you allow for registered users. You can automatically close comments after a given number of days. You can have nested or threaded comments, and you can choose how many levels deep you would want. If you have a website that gets lots of comments, you may want to break it up into multiple pages, therefore making your website load a little bit faster. Additionally, you can choose if you want to have the website email you anytime someone posts a comment, or a comment is held for moderation. By holding a comment for moderation, you have a chance to approve a comment before it's displayed. This takes a little bit extra effort on your part. However, it highly reduces the chances of you having comment spam on your website. If you want to approve all comments for moderation, you'll have to click the checkbox that says comment must be manually approved. If that is unchecked and you have your second box here, comment author must have a previously approved comment, that will mean that you have had to approve a comment from a person first before they can automatically auto-approve a secondary comment. Additionally, you can look at other types of comment moderation without uses of plugins, such as if they have more than 2 links, as a lot of times spammers will try to incorporate a lot of links into it. Additionally, you can create a comment blacklist, which will not allow any people to post that come from certain IP addresses. If you want a picture of a person to appear, you can use their gravatars. Now, a gravatar is an avatar, which is a pictorial representation. You can choose what type of avatar will be available to you. So do you want G for all audiences, PG, or worse? These are kind of self-regulating, and you can identify them based upon if they have a gravatar setting already set up for the email address. If they don't have a gravatar already set up, you can choose one of the default ones for them to display in their place. Once you're done, click Save Changes. You can move to Media. In Media, you can specify what your sizes will be for thumbnails, medium, and large. For the medium and large, these are your maximum sizes. They will not exceed, but they could be smaller. And this is important for when you import an image from your media library into a post or into a page. Thumbnails will crop if you have the checkbox enabled, which is by default. Medium and large sizes will automatically proportionally scale so that the maximum width and/or height is not met. Recommended, so that you can organize your files a little bit better, is to check the checkbox that has Organize My Uploads in month and year based folders. This way it prevents you from having potentially thousands of images and other types of files inside of a single upload folder. Some operating systems have a problem if you have more than a certain number of files inside of a folder, and you must be careful of this. Save your settings if you made any changes, and then click on Permalinks. Permalink is going to be how you're going to link to a post or page inside of WordPress. The default gives an ID based upon the post number. However, it's not easy to remember and it's not search engine friendly. WordPress gives you numerous ways that you can specify these by default. For example, a day and a name. The day and name would be useful for things like newspapers and magazines where they have a lot of time-relevant content. Things that are more monthly or quarterly might fall under simply the month and the name. You notice that it also includes the year. Numeric is generally not used. However, post name can be used and is used quite often. Additionally, you can choose custom structure. Now, if you don't know what to define as a custom structure to define your own, you'll find a link available up at the top of the page. A number of tags are available. They'll link you out to the codex.wordpress.org and give you all the possible settings that you could use to define your permalinks. That way you can define categories, tags, posts, etc. that will be as you need it to be. Optionally, you can define a category and tag base. That way users, when they search based upon a category or tag, will see some prefix and make it a little bit easier for you to find. Once you've made your selections, click Save Changes. And you have now customized the settings for how WordPress works. All the settings underneath the settings menu will be used regardless of what theme and plugins you are using. Some theme and plugins will have additional settings that you'll need to configure, but none of them will undo the changes that you've made here. If you found this video tutorial helpful, please like and share it with others. If you want to keep up with other videos that are coming out, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook. That way, you can get the most up-to-date information.